Who is it?
It's Alex and the gang.
More like Chandra and the gang. You think you're that important, don't you?
It's Chandra and the gang. We're gonna go check out some of the leads on that weird van. You wanna come with us?
Yeah, I'm down. Just let me get dressed.
Do you guys see a van?
I don't see anything. Yo, you want to hear a screwed up story?
Yeah, what's up?
You see that water tower up there? About a week after Sammy Pack went missing, people in my town started complaining about the color and taste of the water. My house wasn't affected because we have a well. So the water company opens up the tower and they find the body of a girl. She has no clothes on and she's been in there for days. What's really screwed up is she was locked in there. You can't really lock yourself in a water tower when the water is 5 feet from the lock, even more so when the lock is on the outside. So police came in and they ruled it an accident. So some girl accidentally climbs on top of a water tower, picks the lock, jumps 5 feet into the water, then manages to lock herself in from the outside. Yeah, I buy it.
Wait, are you serious? How the hell was this not on the news?
It was. Headlines read, "Small Town Tear, Unclean Drinking Water." Somehow these lazy jerks at the news stations managed to turn what was most likely a horrific murder into a gross story that focused more on the quality of drinking water than about an actual person.
How did she get up to the water tower? I don't see a ladder.
Ah, that's what I was forgetting. A logical person would deduce that they removed the ladder so it wouldn't happen again. This is where it gets really creepy. There was never any ladder, and you'd need a really big ladder.
So some crazy murderer with a big ladder could still be hanging around out here?
Yeah, probably. I made a post about this on Honest in 1999, but we were never able to figure it out. What's even more screwed up is they never identified the body. Poor girl.
The face is screwed on in this window. The face is screwed on in this window.
Did you find out the question, Alex? No. You're such a disappointment. Boy, can you do any damn thing right! Get out! Get out of my face! I hate you! I hate you so much! Just go away! Get out! Who are you to vex me with your perpetual idiocracy? Don't you dare run unless you find the question! Silly, pathetic, worthless piece of filth.
Your face is screwed up in this old level. Your face is screwed up in this old level.
So where to?
Well, damn. I'm guessing that van floating out there is supposed to be the one they spotted.
That'd be my best guess.
So, is it worth swimming out there and checking it out?
Go right ahead!
What? Oh, hey, you guys suck!
How's the water?
Nothing here except some items. Oh well, it was worth a shot.
So where to?
So, Do we just walk up to it?
I guess so. Maybe I'll just knock on the back and ask if there are any androids being held captive.
So where to? Oh, that's the gas station.
I don't see any vans. Looks like this place is a bust.
Well, I need gas, so I'm pulling in anyway. So where to? Holy crap! Isn't that it?
I can't believe it. We actually found it.
The first step is to calm down. Let's all get around the van, and then one of us will knock. Let's be ready to fight, since we don't know what's inside.
I don't want to sound like a wuss, but why are we doing this again?
Because we have to save the android!
Okay, good enough.
What are those kids doing with this mysterious van? Doesn't anyone else find this a little odd?
So the soul survivors are working with the mall rats.
Don't be stupid. Something isn't right here. Okay, so those kids have the keys to the van. The only course of action is to track them down and ask them nicely for them.
And when they say no, we kick their 12-year-old goth butts.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Wait, can anyone pick a lock here?
Yo, wouldn't it be hilarious if I could? Like, out of this ragtag band of misfit friends, the black guy could pick the lock. And don't pretend you didn't think it. So to answer your racist-ass question, I cannot pick a lock. Well, at least not a car lock. I went through a Sherlock Holmes phase and learned to pick basic locks. You know, antique locks, Egyptian wooden pin locks, a warded lock, RFID locks if I had the right equipment. But definitely not a car lock.
So, just to clarify, you can't pick the lock.
Psh, no. Well, probably not.
We're wasting time. Let's go after the brats.
Oh, I did not want to see that. I did not want to see that. What the hell is wrong with people?
It's the 90s. People really are losing all sense of moral fiber.
So where to?
Why are you guys running from us?
It's our enemy! It commands us!
What?
Oh god, not this.
Have you seen this before?
Yeah, it's called These Little Brats Have Been Watching Too Much Goosebumps and Reading Too Much H.P. Lovecraft. Look, we don't have time for these stupid games. The darkness hasn't commanded you to do anything. Give us the keys to the van, and we can all walk away unscathed. You can go home, wash off your eyeliner, apologize to your parents, and go back to being normal kids.
Wow, Vella! Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I'll ignore that one for now, Michael. Okay, looks like we're going to have to beat up some twerps! Oh!
You have died. Do you feel it? Do you feel that tingling sensation?
LP talk!
How did you defeat the Great Spirit Being?
Okay, guys, please just relax. Let me know how this all happened. When did you first meet the Soul Survivor?
A few days ago, the Great Spirit Being dropped his keys. I picked them up, and ever since, I've been doing his bidding!
Doing his bidding? The Soul Survivors aren't some Saturday morning cartoon villains. They wouldn't ask you to help them with some evil plan. I'm gonna go ahead and assume you just picked up the keys and carried them around pretending to be its evil minions. Youth. Okay, you can go. Why would the Soul Survivors be driving around an android? What the hell is going on here?
Let's go to the van. Maybe once we open it up, we can find some clues. Walking back to the van, I started to question my actions. Why was I so convinced finding this android was such a good thing? Why was I putting myself in danger like this? A lot of times I felt like I was an airplane circling the landing strip waiting for clearance, waiting for a purpose. Maybe I was Alex, android hunter. No, that didn't make sense. Alex, soul survivor hunter? Still not right. She was beautiful. Masterful creation. Smooth plastic skin, slick curves, and a perfectly sculpted face that reminded me of one of the anime girls on Claudia's shirt.
What do you see? Anything interesting?
She's incredible.
Incredible?
Hello, Alex. My favorite soul. I must thank you for coming to retrieve me.
What's happening?
I imagine you are wondering who I am, why I know your name, and where we are going. I think it is necessary that I first introduce myself. I'm an android, made from 2-part epoxy resin and melamine. My consciousness is natural, but my physical form is man-made. I exist in all realities simultaneously, and can account for all parallel versions of my soul. Now, for the question that is burning away at you the most, how do I know your name? You and I have met time and time again. We are soulmates, in the true sense of the word. This is the part where you say, "I've never met you before," and then silently add, "Except in my dreams." This can and will be explained. Many months ago, you had the pleasure of making the acquaintance of a Miss Semi Park. Semi had begun the process of leaving her physical form behind. When you met her, she had already made up her mind to leave her body and enter into the place between places, the soul space. You disrupted her transition. Shortly after, you witnessed 2 soul survivors taking her away. Those 2 entities were that 2/3 of her soul that had transitioned, 2 injured parts that hadn't begun to heal. Now you are thinking, how can you possibly know all this? I was there. I am Semi, and Semi is me. When one soul leaves a reality, another can freely enter. The only requirement necessary is having some relation to the departing soul, whether it's being a parallel version of the departing or having an emotional connection to the departing. When Semi left your reality, I entered. Before that, this physical form was destroyed, captured, and held prisoner by the 2 entities that you just defeated in combat. Ever since then, I had tried to return, but as my physical form still held trace amounts of my consciousness, I had to wait until Semi, this reality's version of me, died or escaped into the soul space. Upon her voyage into the void, I entered, and I followed you home. I lived with you for weeks as I gained my strength. Finally, I was able to appear to you and guide you to the radio tower. I needed you to find my physical form so that I could speak with you.
But what did...
Bella's record have to do with my physical form? I'm glad to see you are keeping up with all of my robotic exposition. I am the Essentia 2000. I am Sami Park. I am Oda Kreutzer. Alis Albert, Surya Yamama. I am Vela Wild, Beta Himura, and many more.
But
I do not mean to imply that I go by all of these names and that I happen to share the name of 2 women in your life. I am explicitly saying that I am them, and they are me.
you're gonna have to explain how this is all possible.
First, I will begin with the dreams you had of me. As a spirit, we are not restrained by physical barriers. However, without a body, it is impossible to astral project. When you slept, I was able to enter inside of your vessel and use it to launch my spiritual form out into the world to seek my physical body. I am sorry that I violated you in such a way, but it was the only way for me to find my body and make physical contact with you. By now, you are aware of the soul space, the location where each universe and reality coexist. Each universe has a set number of souls. Adjacent to your reality is another that contains someone with the same soul as yourself. In one reality, I am Surya Yamama, a Palestinian girl on the run from financial trouble. In another, I am Vela Wild, a talented musician whose only setback is the pressure I put on myself. In all realities, I am the Essentia 2000, a pan-dimensional android made of plastic, created so that I can better understand myself in all of my realities. I am sorry I had to take you away from your friends like that. Please bear with me as I take you on a tour of my parallel lives.
Where exactly are we going?
We are going into a very dangerous place, my dungeon of the mind. Here I will share with you my other selves. I am doing this in hopes that you will one day understand the nature of reality.
Why do you feel that I need to understand the nature of reality?
That, Alex, is something I have to show, not tell. I came to exist 6 years ago, in the winter of 1993. In 1993, I only knew myself to be Naila El-Amin. I was a physicist who became fascinated by the metaphysical results of my experiments. After receiving terrible news, I became increasingly depressed. In this period of struggle, I began to become aware of the space in between spaces, the soul space. I longed to leave my reality and explore the various facets of existence I had just discovered, but my body was weak, and I was going to die. I feared separation from my own body, so I created the Essentia 2000, except it wasn't that me, Nyla Elamine, who brought the plastic me into existence. I was weak, and my completion of the Essentia 2000 was many months off. But then, something incredible happened. I came to be through the intellect of another me, of Vladimir Tassar. In that reality, I was a Russian woman with similar goals, sans the severe sorrow and physical fatigue. As the Essentia 2000, I explored the soul space and became aware of all the different versions of myself. The Essentia 2000, the Essentia 1999, and the yet-to-be-created Essentia 2890.
So you mean to say that Vela and Sammy share the same soul, but they are not the same person?
Essentially, yes. We have the capacity to be anything that we like to be. More often than not, we get to be the thing we least want to be. If you join me now, I'd like to take you on a journey. A journey so that you can better know Sammy, Vela, Nyla, and the other versions of myself. In doing so, I think you may learn something that you so desperately need to know.
Your face is screwed up in this window. Your face is screwed up in this window.
Have you found the Dungeon Master? He's tricky to find. Tell me, have you been enjoying your time in the Dungeon of the Mind? It can be overwhelming, never knowing if you're making the right choice. Afraid to act because the paralyzing fear that you've chosen wrong. I chose wrong once. I want to go away, far away, just to get out of here, to be on my own. Well, not here. That's how I wound up here, inside the Dungeon of the Mind. I had a mom, but no dad. Mom got weird when Dad left. Things were fine for a while, but before I knew it, life had changed so much there was little to be happy for. So I cried myself to sleep every night. I screamed every night. I tried running away. Never got very far. And you know what? I got away once, far away. But I came back. I felt terrible that my mom was left all alone. So I went back. When I got home, things were better for a while. Then they got worse. Screaming, throwing things, accidentally on purpose, blowing out the pilot light on the stove. So, I willed myself to escape, and I got far away. Did I make the right choice? No. I'm asking you! Did I make the right choice? Is this better? Did I screw up? I can't ever leave you now! All I can do is stay here and catalog the Dungeon Master's thoughts! Do you realize how many thoughts he has? I need to get out. Can you help me get out? Didn't think so. Of course you can't. You're trapped here too, just like me.
The face is screwed up in this window. The face is screwed up in this window.
Did you figure out the question? Me either. That's why I'm here. There are no questions here. No one to bother you to do stuff. I like it here. It's peaceful.
Oh, your face is screwed up in this window. Oh, your face is screwed up in this window.